I read A Little Life 2 years back, and I really enjoyed the book. When I say I enjoyed the book, I loved how devastating it was in every single way, and I couldn't believe that an author exists with this power to weave such a fantastic story about four guys. And it was really shockingly good. I would go as far as saying that that is probably amongst the top 25 books I've ever read. And I decided right there and then, I'm probably going to read every book by Hanya, right? And so when I heard that there's a new book out by her called To Paradise, and I saw the book cover, and I was like, damn, am I in for another book that'll shake my foundation? And before I could read a lot of negative reviews, I just went and read it. And when I say I just went and read it, I took a good week to finish it, or 5 days. And it's quite a difficult book to read. Let me just say that again. It's a very difficult book to read because the author goes on and on. It's a complete sprawl of words. There are three stories, something in the 19th century, something in the 20th century, something in the 21st century, late 21st century. She's talking about what will happen in 2090. And she goes as back as before it was the United States, when there was something called free states. That she talks not much about slavery, but she talks about how, in a certain way we are deteriorating. And but that's not the crux of the story. The crux of the story are the three stories that exist, and those three stories are very confusingly sprawled across the book with same character names, and you keep wondering what the association is. In the end, you're supposed to get it. You're supposed to get something. I didn't quite get it. Long and short of it is, this is a pretty bad book from all conceivable angles. Yes, it taught me a bit about history. Yes, it taught me a bit about what a pandemic can do. Yes, it made me look at the plight of various people and what the future will suffer. But I found it, though it is the most, how do I say, man, dizzyingly ambitious book I've read in a while, I still think it lacked the basic fodder, the basic foundation of something which is relatable in a story. And I found the characters too self-engrossed and depressed. It's cool to be depressed, man. I love getting depressed sometimes. But this is not cool, dude. This book, just for the heck of it, tries to have these characters who are so defeatist in their tendencies, and there's no redemption. Like, they allow themselves to be in relationships where they are bogged down. Like, they're allowed to think about the negative things. Like, sometimes their life situation is the way it is because of their parenting or lack of. Sometimes it is that way just because of the societal conditions. The total amalgamation of everything, it just made me feel like, man, this is some kind of a pyramided scheme where I'm being fooled. I've been taken on this journey, but 60% into the book you realize that there is no redemption coming, right? But you keep reading because you don't want to be the guy who quits on a book. Especially not by an author who wrote A Little Life. Man, terrible book. 3 stars out of 10 stars. And I'm giving it 3 stars because she writes well. Because she had the guts to go to 2088 or 90. And because I learned a bit about Honolulu, Hawaii, willingly or unwillingly. So from making a book which is probably a 10-star book, she has gone down to a 3-star book. A lot of people will come around and tell you that you should read it. I should probably have used that. A lot of people will come around and say, you know what, you should have read this book for this reason or for that reason. Wait. I'm here to save the day for you. Trust me. I'm not a very cynical book reader, but I value my time. And this is a time hole. I'm trying to read 100 books this year, guys. Yeah, man. Thank you for watching. Do not read To Paradise by Hanya Yanigihara. Yeah. And some other things you should probably know if you're going to read it anyway is that it is very long. And nothing is coming. There's no redemption at the end of it. There is no explicit moment of relief. If you happen to like this book, then you're probably just doing it because you spent so much time on it. And you wanted to prove a stubborn point to yourself that I will finish it. Like I am like that. I'm that kind of guy. So I can relate with you. If you're like that kind of guy or girl, don't do it yourself.